What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video right here on Daniel Talks Football. It has been a while since I have said those words, but we are back and I'm really excited to be bringing you some new content once again. And it's a video I've been sitting for on a while. My club, Leicester City. We're excellent, and I want to sit here and sort of dive into our season and why we're so good and what's changed from last season, because if I'm correct, the last time I would have spoken about Leicester City, I'm going to find the video, but it was probably a rant. I'm going to sit here and find the video for you now, but it was almost definitely me sitting here going, ugh, like, we're really bad. I can almost guarantee it. Where is Leicester City? I'm looking for it. Who will replace Brendan Rodgers at Leicester City? Was it the podcast I did with Leicester fans? It may very well have been. Or did I do something? Surely I did something after that. Oh yeah, I did a video titled Disgrace. Yeah. How times have changed. Because I'm really excited for our new era at Leicester City. Before we do get into it, please make sure to like the video, comment down below, and also subscribe to the channel. Go for the TikTok and the Instagram, Daniel Talks Football on both. Will I ever return? Yes. Is that going to be now? No. I want to focus on the channel. But maybe next time. I don't even have TikTok downloaded on my phone. There's no hope. But Leicester City. Now, I want to take us back. Because, you know, we are doing really well now, but I want to take us back to when we weren't doing so well. And I want to take us back to the end of last season, where Dean Smith's contract had just expired at the football club after coming in to replace Brendan Rodgers after he was rightfully sacked and should have gone an awful lot earlier. Dean Smith's contract had just expired at the football club. The football club had been relegated from the Premier League after a win against West Ham, but it ultimately was not enough to secure the survival of the Foxes. And we had numerous players out of contract. Now, the first step, the only statement the club kind of made until Enzo Maresca was appointed as the manager, was players leaving. Yuri Tielemans left the club on a free transfer and went to Aston Villa. Papi Mendy left. Bertrand left. You had, I don't want to list them all, but you had so many players that left the club. Tete left obviously after his failed loan spell at the football club. Daniel Amartey left the football club, and so many more players that I don't want. Kagos Unchu, another one as well. But a lot of players left the football club, and there wasn't any news on the new manager, there wasn't any news on signings, and fans were starting to get quite worried. You know, we were promised that things would change in the football club, and it wasn't seeming like anything was. For 2 or 3 weeks, I think, the only things we had heard was, yeah, these players have left, and that was it. And then one day we got a video. Enzo Maresca will be the new manager of Leicester City Football Club. And this is where everything changed. Enzo Maresca obviously came in from Manchester City, being Pep Guardiola's assistant. He brought Pep Guardiola's style, the Enzo Maresca style that Pep Guardiola so obviously stole from him. He brought that over to Leicester City, playing this, 3-2-4-1, is that it? Yeah, 3-2-4-1. That seems about right. That is 11 players. Yeah, 3-2-4-1. Seems about right. If anything, sometimes it's a 4-1-4-1 because 4-2-4-1 because even Johansson will sometimes come out and play centre back, who I'm gonna actually add to this list because flipping hell, he is good. But Enzo came in and he gave a fresh new feel to the football club, and things were really moving in the right direction for my club, Leicester City. You've obviously got the elite training ground, and then Enzo was signed, and people started to be optimistic, but there wasn't still enough, and people were still sitting there going, "Oh well, he's unproven, and is he going to be any good?" I was excited by him, yes, but there was still a sense of trepidation that things could go wrong and that he might not be the right fit. And we were all thinking that. And then the first 2 signings were made. Harry Winks was the first man to come through the door, who, at the time, a lot of Leicester fans were negative about 10 million on a player who Spurs didn't want, 10 million on a player who Hadn't played in quite a few years, had been injury prone, which, does not go well with Leicester City usually. And people were concerned that, he wouldn't fit in. People were concerned he wasn't a good enough 8. I don't know if he is a good enough 8, but he's a very, very good 6. And at the base of that midfield, we've seen what Harry Winks has done so far this season for this Leicester side. 100% pass accuracy in the game versus Norwich. I think he's got about a 95% pass accuracy in all the games. I'm not sure what it is up to date, but I have seen recently the number 95%. I wonder if I can quickly find this out. Accurate passes, 95%. He's played more, he's started 12 games. We've played 12 games. Yeah, he must have been rested in the League Cup, I think. And he's just been excellent. He's been so excellent, and this is a key cog to our system and somebody who was really impressed. The other signing we made on that special day was Conor Coady, who hasn't yet had the time to have an impact on this football club. He's been kept out of the side. Now, Coady, excellent player and a really good man. I think it's clear that his leadership is really pushing through in the side, and it's really obvious to see sort of how well he is doing. And how well he's making the players around him perform. I remember seeing after Wanya scored 2 goals, I can't remember who it was against, but after Wanya or Marcel Mavidadua scored 2 goals in the game, Coady was on the sidelines, really giving him massive hugs, going, yes, well done. Like, yes. And I'm like, you haven't played a game for the football club and you're already so passionate. Hearing him speak on the podcast, saying, how much he's already enjoying the football club, it's something really nice to see after last season with players playing for the football club who didn't really want to be there here at times. Goalkeeper. We signed a massive goalkeeper to send with Mads Hermansen, who's really looking like a top-class goalkeeper. I had some concerns with Hermansen, especially after the pre-season friendly with Liverpool, in which, he couldn't catch anything. That game, I was sitting there going, he's not good enough. He's not good enough, and you're signing a goalkeeper for 5 million from the Danish league, sitting there thinking, is he going to be any good? Yes, he is. Because, wow, Mads Hermansen he was probably the signing I doubted the most. I really wasn't sure of Hermansen, and I was really worried that he just wouldn't. I was fair. Winks, I thought he would be decent. Coady, I thought he'd be really good. Fatal, I thought, Atkin, yeah. But Hermansen, I was concerned. I didn't think he'd be good enough. But wow, this guy's goalkeeping, he's got everything. He's great with the ball at his feet, and he's great at shot stopping as well. I think Mads Hermansen will make the step up to the Premier League with Leicester City, hopefully. And I think he could even go further beyond that. And do I put it past the Manchester United coming in and making a bid? Not really. I think he's a top keeper, and I think after a couple of years in the Premier League, he's only 23 as well. I think after 2 or 3 years in the Premier League, top clubs will be circling and they will want Mads to go and join them. Another player I do need to speak about who's had a bit of a resurrection of his career this season is Yannick Vestergaard. Now, I'm sure in that video I titled Disgrace, I probably sat here and flew at Vestergaard and said how poor he is and how he should never play for the football club again. And, he didn't play for the football club last year, and there was a good reason for that, I do feel. Yannick Vestergaard was not good enough. Yet this season, arguably, he's been our best player. I'm not going to say he has, because personally I think player of the season would go to Harry Winks if the season stopped right now. But I think Vestergaard would probably be second. And he will, if he keeps up this form, and if he keeps Conor Coady out of our starting 11, which he is doing at the moment, and which wouldn't surprise me to see him continue to do. If he does continue to do that, I do have a feeling that Yannick will pick up awards at the end of the season. He's excellent at ball playing. He's a different style of centre-back to what we've had before. And, he's playing a little bit further back, which means his pace isn't being exploited as much. Playing alongside Wout Faes as well, who isn't the quickest defender in the world. James Justin's sort of covering for those two in the back line, with now Callum Doyle being injured, of course. But his ball-playing abilities, and it's not the fact that, he can spur it left and right, which he can. It's the fact he's composed on the ball. He's happy to just stand there for 5-10 seconds, put his foot on the ball and assess his options. And I really like that confidence from Yannick. I think he's a top player, and I really enjoy him personally. I think he's such an excellent addition, and it's a shame we couldn't have seen this £15 million player earlier. He is out of contract at the end of the season, and I'm still unsure as to whether that will be renewed, because I do wonder if there's so much water under the bridge with Yannick. But if Yannick's been able to make up with the club's hierarchy after some of the comments he has said, thinking he's too good for this league and all of that, which I'm still not on board with. But it's this thing that if you're winning games, say what you like, I don't care. If you're winning football games and you're showing that you care on the pitch, which Yannick Vestergaard is, after not showing he cared for 2 years, I'm not that fussed. This was the thing with it last season. Players were showing they didn't care and they weren't winning games. Does Yannick Vestergaard want a transfer? Possibly. And if he does get a transfer, not last summer, but now he would go with my best wishes, and I'd feel like would be able to replace him, because we've got Conor Cody just waiting in the wings, who is, a former England international. But Yannick Vestergaard's career turnaround has been excellent, and it would not surprise me to see him get, a very, very solid move next summer. If that's to abroad, which I think he would probably be suited to more if he does stay in England. There's so many excellent cogs in this team. I could keep going. And you know what? I'm going to keep going, because I've had too long of complaining about this football club. Isaac Fatawu, excellent signing. Bit of a maniac, I will be honest. He does seem to just run around the pitch like a headless chicken at times, but I love that about him. I think he's such a top addition to this side. I think he's really, really good. And he's an excellent right winger as well, and I do hope we activate his buy option. Yunus Akgun, attacking midfielder who was initially brought in as a right winger, but Enzo seems to fancy him as an attacking midfielder, and I agree, he's excellent there. What a player. Again, just does it consistently and is looking really, really good. Another excellent player, Mavididi. Why did I say Mavididi? That's not his name. It's Mavididi. And Enzo went to Europe to buy a Lamborghini. Instead he brought a winger back and his name was Mavididi. The guy is just excellent and he oozes class. You look at him on that left wing and, when we signed him in the summer, I thought this is a really good pickup. Some people were a little bit unsure. I was standing there going, no, this guy is Premier League standard and he will prove it to you this year, and I think he is. He's looking really, really good on that left-hand side. And now with Fatau to sort of implement him on that right as well, insane. And I wonder if when we go back up, if, give it a year or two, if we could maybe try and get Barnes back as well. I think Barnes and Mavididi rotating on that left would be excellent options. I think out of everyone we sold this summer, Barnes is probably the one who I would want back. I think too much water's under the bridge with Maddison. I wouldn't want Yori back after how he's performed at Villa. But Barnes doesn't seem to really settle at Newcastle. He's got that big injury now as well. And I wonder if, give it 2 years when Newcastle are fighting for Champions League, if they will get rid of Barnes. And at that point, I'd happily take him back. He's a Leicester lad and, that will not be forgotten. Speaking of Leicester lads, I think the second to final person I do need to mention here, it's Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. Now, Dewsbury-Hall is being overhyped. I am Dewsbury-Hall's number one fan. I love Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. I think Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall is an excellent footballer. And for me, he's my favourite football player at the club at the moment. I love Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall to pieces. When I eventually buy the shirt this year, probably when they go on sale towards the end of the year, when I eventually buy the shirt this year, he is the guy who I'll get on the back of that shirt. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, Shepshed lad, local boy. I appreciate the man an awful lot, and I think he is an incredibly good footballer. Saying that, I do think he's being overhyped. People putting him as the best player in the Championship, I disagree. He's not the best player in our team. He's maybe top 5, but I'd put Winks above him. I'd put Vestergaard above him on his performances this season. I would maybe put Wilfred in. Maybe I won't go that far. But I don't think he's not the best, and people are saying he's the best in the Championship, which I do just disagree with. I think he's a very good player, and I think scoring 2 on the opening day did get people excited. He's doing incredibly well, and he's getting goals and assists as well, which is something he didn't have last season. He's added to his game. But Kiernan is still a crucial part to this team and a key cog to what Enzo Maresca's doing. The lad alongside him is Wilfred Ndidi. Now, Wilfred Ndidi did agree a contract with Nottingham Forest. He's recently come out and said he didn't. I don't believe that for a second. You're playing well now, Wilfred, fair enough, but I still don't think I'm ever going to fully forgive Wilfred Ndidi because, he agreed a contract with the red side of the Trent, and that's not something that I will ever look upon. I would ever look upon nicely. Yeah, he's been doing really, really well this season. You do have to give him credit for that. The quality of Wilfred Ndidi this season is something that does not go unnoticed, and he's excellent in that new role. He was a 6. Everybody knew he was a 6. Yet this season he's been able to push his game up the pitch a little bit, turn into that 8, and it's something that I'm really, really enjoying seeing. And he's our contract this summer. Don't think he will sign a new one, to be honest. I think he will probably get a move, and I think whoever gets him, they'll be getting a different player to the one they first expected, because I don't think Wilfred Ndidi will turn back into a 6. After looking at him this season, the last few seasons he's been poor as an 8, it's worth saying. He's been poor as a 6, it's worth saying. This season he's turned into an excellent 8, and I think he'll probably stay as that. And then last but not least, the last man I have to speak about, Jamie Vardy. This man has turned it around. Under Brendan Rodgers, Jamie Vardy's last start was January. Then Dean Smith came in and he got a couple of starts, but he still wasn't scoring the goals we all know he can and know he should. Enzo Maresca comes in, tells him he's important. Jamie Vardy is fine. Jamie Vardy is scoring goals, and it looks like it's Jamie Vardy's swan song, to be honest. Again, another player who's out of contract this summer. And I do wonder if Vardy will sign another contract, or if he'll go, you know what, I've had my time, I've done really well with this football club, but it's time for me to move on. I think he might move on, and I think he might retire, to be honest. I think if we were to get promoted, if we were to win the league, if we were to score 20 goals in that, I don't think he would want to go back up to the Premier League knowing he might get 2 or 3, and again, people start going, he doesn't want to be phased out. I think he wants to leave as the main man, and I think if he were to leave this summer, he would leave as our best striker. Iheanacho alongside him, but again, another player who's out of contract this summer, Kelechi Iheanacho. Vardy has been excellent, and watching him rile up opposition fans, it's something that I appreciate more than anything, and I think Vardy has been excellent. The last thing I just need to sort of discuss in terms of this Leicester City side, 33 points from 36, which is the reason I'm doing this video, the best ever start to a side in the Championship. Never been done. If you look at, I think there's 11 sides in Division 1 or maybe there's 11 or 12 sides in Division 1 who went, 11 for 12, got 33 points from their first 36. Every single one of them went on to win the league, and I think as long as Enzo Maresca doesn't get poached by any bigger club, I think Leicester City will be doing that, and I think my club, Leicester City, will be winning the league. The feel around the club is excellent. As a fan, I saw this last season and how much I wasn't looking forward to Saturdays. I will be completely honest, and you may have seen it in the videos, I wasn't looking forward to the weekend's games. I was dreading having to watch Leicester play again and lose again and give up 2 hours of my set, and I stopped doing it, if anything. I stopped watching. I started, notifications on, I'll go and do something and actually enjoy my weekend, because I knew that by watching us I wasn't going to do that. Nowadays, I'm making plans on the football. Can you do something Saturday afternoon? No, I'm busy. Why? Leicester are playing. I'm so excited to fall in love with this football club again, because I did fall out of love with Leicester. I will be Leicester till I die. I bleed blue and white, and there's nothing more I want than to see my football club win on a Saturday. But last season, I fell out of love with the game. I think a lot of Leicester fans didn't. I think they're only seeing this season how much they fell out of love with how much they're now falling back in love with this group of players. Enzo Maresca, you've given me my football club back, and for that I will forever appreciate you. There we go though. Leicester City, excellent football club. What do you make to Leicester City's resurrection? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all again in the next video. See ya!